Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to this little corner of the internet that is Wild Fox Alchemy. If we haven't met before, my name is Gaian and I am an intuitive business success coach and tarot card reader, and I'm here to do your monthly reading for January 2022. Before we get started, I apologise for the lateness of this video. I like to get them out at the beginning of the month, but oh my goodness, Christmas in Spain is just frantic, crazy and fantastic at the same time. It doesn't end until the 6th of January. So the 5th of January is the Three Kings Night Eve, so it's kind of like Christmas Eve. And then the 6th of January is Three Kings Day, the Day of the Magi, where everybody gets their gifts. So Christmas here is fantastic. I absolutely love it. If you love Christmas, Spain is the place to be, without a doubt. But all this fun and frolicking has led to delays in me getting this final 6 videos out. So I do apologise if you've been waiting. I will attempt to do better. So are you ready to see what is going on for the rest of January for you, Sagittarius? Let's find out. This is your money spread along the top. And you couldn't ask for a better card. This is Buffalo Spirit. The abundant universe will provide. What can I say? Spirit is saying to me now that you could have been doubting, Sagittarius. You could be pushing, wishing, hoping, dreaming. This is a time for faith. Spirit has just said to me the word is faith. You have to have faith that the universe will provide. If you've been worrying about money at all, or if you've had a quiet Christmas time, because I know a lot of people have, and January quite often is a very quiet month because everybody's spent up. They've spent all the money on Christmas, and people don't really tend to go out buying a lot unless you've got an item, you know, that sort of fits in with the January sales or holidays, something like that. You know, they sometimes get an uptick of sales, but you could be in a business where things have gone very quiet. And if that's the case, Spirit is saying to you, have faith. The abundant universe will provide. Just make sure that your energy is clean and clear and that you know exactly what you're asking for. And then look for it. Look for the opportunities that the universe gives you. But that's an excellent start to a money reading, isn't it, Sagittarius? Couldn't ask for better than that. Where you need to focus your energy for the rest of this month, Sagittarius, is on the Eight of Shells. This is very much a card that is saying that you're all, you know, you're making progress, you're manifesting, you're doing quite well there. But there can be a tendency for self-sabotage when you get to this point. Okay? You could be feeling some emotional issues. I know some clients, and sometimes I have done this as well, where you work so hard to get to a certain level. And then you get to that level and suddenly crap becomes real. Excuse my language. It starts to get really real. And you can start to doubt yourself. You can even subconsciously start to self-sabotage. Because your subconscious mind is going, no, 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 this is really scary now. This is getting really real. I don't like it. This is not safe. I don't feel safe in this position. We're almost going to get our dream. We're on our way to it, but oh my God, I'm not ready. I'm not ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to self-sabotage it. It's a card that also says to you, it's time for you to move away from things that don't serve you. And one of the things that doesn't serve you is these thoughts of not being ready, not being good enough, not being in a position to push this business forward, being afraid to actually realise your dreams. Just stop. Move away from all that. Let it all go. But yes, I do feel like you could be feeling some doubt here. I'm getting a sense of doubt here. This, you know, sort of the message saying that the universe will provide makes me think that maybe you're doubting that the universe will provide, and that's why you needed to have this message. And the Eight of Shells is also saying now, well, you know, maybe I'm not good enough to pull this off. Maybe I'm not worthy of having a lot of money. Maybe my products and services aren't good enough and I don't deserve to earn money from them. Let's see what else we've got. Definitely think if these things are coming up for you, you need to focus on healing them. Transformation. This is your strength, the transformation card. This in the Rider-Waite deck is the death card, but this is the transformation card. It's about transition and liberation, freedom. This is about ending things. It's about letting go. It's about change. And change, my friend, is inevitable. We cannot go through life without experiencing any sort of change. It just doesn't happen. And can you imagine how boring, how utterly boring life would be if it was always on the straight and narrow? It would be terrible, wouldn't it? So, you know, I always think without the lows, we don't get the highs, and vice versa. You know, how can we appreciate the wonderful things that happen if we don't go through a few horrible times? And I feel in this position, we're talking about this being a strength of yours, about you being able to see that change is inevitable, you being able to accept that there are things that you need to let go of now, and not seeing them as something that is something to be regretful or upset about, but actually to see it as something that's exciting, something that is liberating, something that will bring you freedom. Now, Spirit's just said this could be a debt that is ended. It could be that it's a debt that is paid off, or somebody else pays it off for you, or somebody just says, no, it's okay, you don't need to pay me back. There's something, maybe it's a payment plan you've been using to pay for a product or something like that, that there are some endings there to some payments that you've been making. And that will make life easier for you financially. Possible obstacles, blocks. We've got the moon there. Imagination and perception. Imagination and perception. I love this card. She's one of my favourites. But she is all about shining light on situations. Something that is going on subconsciously. Something that perhaps you're seeing in a way that isn't really real. You know, we are having this human experience on this planet, and the things that are around us, our situations, we perceive them to be extremely real. And it's not. It's all an illusion. We are creating our own reality all the time. And our reality comes from our thoughts, our fears, our beliefs. And we are creating that the whole time. This, I feel, is about you needing now to change your perception. To change how you see things. So if you're seeing things from a position of lack, it's time to stop. Start seeing things from a position of abundance. Use your imagination. I'm told now that, you know, visualizations are very important to you. That you need to imagine and visualize where it is that you want to be financially so that you can make it happen. Because your mind doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. I'm just going to throw that out there. A lot of people don't realise that. You can visualise things, you can dream about things, and your mind doesn't know whether it's really happened or not. It believes everything has happened. So in order to make your subconscious and conscious mind comfortable with the idea of having wealth and money, one of the best ways to do that is to visualise having the wealth and money that you want. Visualise the clients coming to you and asking for your services and paying the money. Visualise it all, because the more you visualise it, the more comfortable your mind becomes with that idea, and you'll be given opportunities and shown things. So in this blockages position, just to reiterate, she's sitting there in this possible obstacles, warnings situation. She's just saying, just make sure that whatever you're feeling, if it's lack or some sort of fear of success, fear of wealth, because some people are afraid of wealth because they worry that it'll all be taken away from them, that you need to change your perception. You need to heal those fears. You need to heal those subconscious beliefs so that you can make the idea of being wealthy familiar to you. One of the best bits of advice I can give you on this one is this. Surround yourself with people for whom wealth is normal. And you might go, but I don't know anybody like that. Well, neither did I. Neither did I a long time ago. I had a lot of limiting beliefs around money. I had a very disturbed and mixed up childhood where wealth and unhappiness went hand in hand, and poverty and happiness went hand in hand, and you know, my stepfather was wealthy, but it never really trickled down to me. I lived in his nice house, but I wasn't allowed to touch anything, wasn't allowed to sit on the sofa because I might mess it up. He didn't really want children around things. So my life was very miserable, and I never saw the benefits of the money. They would buy themselves nice clothes, and I would wear hand-me-downs. So I never felt like I was worthy or deserving of anything new or wealth or anything like that. So I grew up with a very sort of weird mindset about money. And unfortunately, a lot of the people around me had a similar mindset that, you know, there isn't enough money to go around, that if you have money, you're greedy, that billionaires are the bane of life, that anybody who's wealthy must be selfish, greedy, nasty person, and all that sort of stuff. And nobody around me was wealthy. So I ended up reading a lot of business books about money, making money, and I've joined several groups where it is the norm for people to make money. And it's almost like osmosis. It's like this, it normalizes making money, being wealthy. You know, I'm in some groups where women are making $10,000 a month without even blinking. And talking about it normalizes that sort of wealth. So I had this terrible fear of being wealthy, that it would make me unhappy, that I would lose the love of my life because I can't have love and money. That was another belief that I had. In fact, I struggle with that belief a lot still. And the belief that making money like that is impossible. But the more that I associate and chat with and connect with women that are making that sort of money, and they're no different than me, they all have the same sort of hang-ups that you and I have. Some of them have got similar backgrounds that you and I have had, but they make it possible, and they tell their stories of how they've made it possible. And it becomes more normal. So if you're fearing this idea of being wealthy, or if everybody around you has these beliefs that, you know, money is bad, being wealthy is just because you're greedy, or, you know, workaholic, or that, you know, you can't have love and money, you can't have nice things, go and find groups like that are full of women that are wealthy, and chat with them, see their stories, and normalize it in your life. And we end with the King of Feathers, Logic and Justice. He's lovely. He is all about intellect and thought. He's all about using your logic, not using your emotional mind, using your rational mind now. Spirit is saying to me that money and you are quite emotional, okay? The Moon's quite an emotional card. The Eight of Shells is the Cups, which is all about emotions and feelings. And I feel very much like your emotions are very tied up with your finances. And Spirit is saying it's not, you know, stop looking at it through the eyes of emotion. Money is just money. It's just energy, okay? It's neither good nor bad. It's completely neutral. Having money does not make you a bad person. Not having money or being in debt does not make you a bad person. You just don't have money right now. Or you have money right now. It bears no resemblance whatsoever to you as a person. It is just money. So Spirit is saying to me now that you need to be looking at your money through your rational mind, not through your emotions. Do not intertwine. We make it an emotional thing. Take the emotion out of it. When you're making financial decisions, take the emotion out of it. Use your logic. You're going to need to make some decisions. You're going to need to set some boundaries, I feel. And I feel like this is a card that tells you to make sure you're being fair. To make sure that you are authentic in the decisions that you make. That you're not taking from somebody or taking advantage of somebody inadvertently. You know, I'm not saying you would do it deliberately, but just make sure that any decisions that you make about your finances are actually fair. And make sure rules and boundaries are really important, according to what Spirit is saying to me now, that you need to set boundaries around your money. I'm being told that it could be, for some people, and this may not resonate for you, it might not, that the boundaries you need to set are about a budget, about not just spending willy-nilly, about not just constantly just spending and receiving in, but never actually making a note of what you're doing. You're just spending, receiving, but you have no real idea what you're spending or receiving. That doesn't really make sense to me as I'm saying it, I don't think. I feel like you need to set boundaries around your money and how it's being spent. And I think you need to take that as you find it. I'm going to clarify that card. I feel like Spirit is saying that it is a time for you to really sort of sit down and look at your finances and indeed set boundaries around what you're spending. It could be that you need to renegotiate some policies or some bills. It could be that you need to cancel some bills. It could be that you're paying for something and not getting the value for it, and you need to set boundaries around that, you know, maybe somebody's overpromised and underdelivered. My windows are creaking like crazy. The wind is really high up here today, and I'm hoping that the squeaks and creaks aren't going to drive you crazy. I've got the Fool there to clarify this, which is always, you know, sort of a naive kind of person. He's a curious person. He's very innocent, but he's full of potential. He's quite adventurous. It can be about taking a leap of faith. Now, my eye was drawn back to Buffalo Spirit, the abundant universe will provide. I wonder if you've been on the fence about something, about an investment. And by investment, I don't mean stocks and shares necessarily, but I'm talking about things like courses or education, or it could be something for your business, that a piece of machinery or equipment that you are thinking that you would like, but you feel that maybe you're not in the financial position to purchase that right now. And I'm being told that you need to take a leap of faith here, that the universe will provide. That sometimes we have to get the thing and then the money comes back in. For example, I have somebody who is a plush maker. One of a kind custom plush making is her thing. And she has a fantastic machine, but there's another one that's better, and it comes with more equipment, and it means that she could run 2 machines at once. It also means that she could make larger items. It would expand her portfolio, and she is considering at the moment whether or not she should buy this item. Now, this girl is a master manifester, but she does it in a way that she buys the thing, and then it's almost the second that she buys it, somebody will buy something that is almost exactly the same money as she's just spent. And this isn't just a one-off, it happens all the time. So we came to the conclusion that perhaps it would be a good idea to actually just go ahead and buy the machine. Now, even though she's not, you know, sort of rolling in money, and it would be quite a big jump, it would also give her the opportunity to make more money. And this is kind of the example that I'm being given to tell you that there is something out there that maybe you need to just take that leap of faith and be sure that the universe will bring back to you what you've spent. Okay? Let me know in the comments below if this is resonating with you. Let me know. At least give me a thumbs up. Give me a like. Now on to business reading. We have Break the Chain, Ancestral Patterns, Healing and Rewriting the Future. There's been a lot of research, and I always say I stand at the crossroads where neuroscience, modern neuroscience and ancient magic converge, because I believe in science. I believe in science, but I also believe in magic. You know, there is room for both in my life. And what interests me is that I feel like magic is science that hasn't been discovered yet, you know. That's the way I feel about it. And ancestral patterns and past life stuff fascinates me. And what is fascinating me at the moment is the fact that they are learning that there are certain kinds of trauma that are passed down from generation to generation. And it doesn't necessarily have to come from nurture. It can come from nature. There are significant things that they are discovering are passed down through our DNA. from mother to child and onwards. They have discovered that people who went through the Holocaust, people who never experienced any of that, still suffer generational trauma because of it. And it isn't just because of the grandparents and parents passing that trauma down through the way that they nurture. It's actually in their DNA. It's fascinating stuff. If you can look into it, do so. Look at it. Look at this sort of ancestral DNA thing and see where we're going with that. It's revolutionary. But I believe that we suffer from what I call the witch wound. It can also be called the persecution wound, because there are people out there who are not witches but have still been persecuted. So if you're from an indigenous tribe, there's a good chance that you carry a persecution wound, because it's come down through generations. And the vile acts that have been performed on your ancestors, the energy of it kind of hovers. So this card is saying to you now, it's time for you to break that pattern. Break that pattern. Heal it and let it go. The time for that wound to be healed is now, because it's holding you back from the kind of business that you really want to have. And this is your journal now, if you like. This is your clean page. What's gone before has gone. You don't need to be carrying the pain and trauma with you. I'm not saying that you have to forget, because we should never forget the atrocities that have been committed towards witches, indigenous people, towards people that you know, have just been persecuted for no damn good reason other than somebody came along and thought that they were better than them. But we have to rewrite the future. We have to heal that wound. So you can do that through past life regression. That's always a fun one. Or if it is a witch wound that's come down the generations and it's not your wound at all, we can still heal that within you. So that's something to look at. Where you need to focus your energy, we've got the Hermit, contemplation and wisdom. There's a theme here, I feel, coming up. It's about soul searching, it's about being in solitude, it's about understanding, and I think that it's in line with this. I feel like there's definitely a message throughout the whole of this reading that you need to investigate your wounds, where they come from, what they've been caused by, and how to move past them. And if you don't know what your wounds are, if you don't know why you suffer a lack of confidence, or if you don't know why your self-esteem is in the toilet, or if you don't know why you just can't close a sale, or if you don't know why you fear visibility, or, you know, there's no way you can do any public speaking because you just feel like you're going to die, there are ways and means of discovering why, because your subconscious mind knows why. And I can get that answer out and heal it. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. Your strengths. We've got the Two of Crystals, balance and adaptability. I like this. This says that there's going to be boundaries. You're going to be managing your time. You're going to make some decisions. You're going to be flexible about a few things. You're going to jump when you need to jump. There's the kangaroo there. You're going to be flexible enough to jump if needed. And this is about physical things that you can touch again. This is money stuff, actually, the crystals, I always think. And I just feel like there's room for optimism here. It's like there's a new journey starting. There's a new journey starting. I feel like you need to take some time. And in line with some of this, I feel like you need to take some time, that there's decisions to be made, that there are things you need to let go of, there are things that you need to move forwards towards. And there's going to be a need for some adaptability, but that is your strength. You are going to bring balance into your life, and I think it's going to come as a result of you going into some contemplation to uncover what's going on. Where is there icky stuff in your business? Where is there stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable? Where is there stuff that you would love to do but you just can't? You feel blocked. And I think you're going to uncover all that. There's this perception, maybe through visualization, you will clear up those blocks. But you'll come out of it feeling a lot more balanced, a lot more sure of yourself, I think. possible obstacles. We've got the Two of Shells, union and harmony. This is warnings, blockages, obstacles. This is about emotional connection, a union, a partnership. In that position, in this reading, it's a slight warning just to be careful. Just to be careful about other people. And Spirit is saying to me now that this isn't about somebody betraying you. It's not about somebody stabbing you in the back. It's not anything particularly negative. What it is about is not necessarily looking to somebody else for the answers. It can be very easy when we're feeling a bit confused, or, you know, I mean, I might have opened a can of worms here now saying, what are your blocks and where are they from? And you could be thinking, ooh, yikes, yes, I have some, and I don't really know what to do about them. I don't really know what to do next. And you could then go asking somebody close to you how to fix this. But that's not what you should do. I'm told that you need to listen to your own intuition, not the yap, yap, yap of other people. Because they are not you and you are not them, and they do not know the deepest, darkest recesses of your soul and what your soul's calling is, what your mission is on this planet, what's gone on in the past for you. I'm told it could be something as silly as you saying, oh, you know, I'm descended from some people that have suffered some serious trauma. I wonder if that's the cause of my fear of visibility, why I can't speak up. And somebody going, don't be ridiculous, don't be silly. That doesn't exist. Generational DNA and wounding, what? And then you kind of go, oh, and you feel a little bit knocked back by that. Don't share it. Don't necessarily share it with other people. Go through it yourself. Decide for yourself what's right and what's not. The outcome is the Tower, release and revelation. Now, oh, goodness me. The Tower. In the Rider-Waite deck, the Tower is quite a scary card. It stands for destruction. When you read about it in books and on the internet, for God's sake, don't look it up if you're faint-hearted, because it'll tell you all about divorce and destruction and death and accidents and all sorts of things. I don't believe, this is my belief, I'm not putting it on you or any other tarot readers, I do not believe that the Tower needs to mean that sort of stuff. I don't believe we should be afraid of it. Death, destruction, accidents, divorce, all those things, they happen all the time. It's part of life. I don't think the Tower card predicts it. What I do believe the Tower card is about is that it's about a catalyst for change. It is about destruction, but there are two different kinds of destruction. You can have destruction that you impose yourself, where you scrap something that is no longer serving you. It could be that you need to get a divorce, that you need to close a business, that you want to have a new start, that you want a change of circumstances. And so that destruction can be orchestrated quite consciously by you. It's not something that just happens to you. What I don't believe in is people getting this Tower card and then walking around for the rest of their lives going, I got the Tower card, there's some sort of horrible disaster that's going to come along. And then it almost becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you take on the energy of that. You start feeling this very negative energy and you're just sitting there waiting for this bad thing to happen. No. I feel like it's a card that signals to you that it's okay to release something, that something needs to go, and it's okay for you to release it. And that actually, in my experience, and I don't know, you know, maybe you feel the same way, you have these changes and then better things come in afterwards. The change can be hard. Closing a business down could be hard. Pivoting a business can be hard. Moving house can be hard. It's not, you know, we don't like change. We humans do not like change. We like what's familiar. It keeps us happy. So changing things can feel quite scary, even if we know we have to make those changes. What I feel with the Tower card, and the message that I always attach to it, is this. we've got two options when we know something needs to change. And I'm going to use, I don't know, let me see. Let's say there's a person that is in debt to a landlord. They have two choices now. They know something will change one way or the other. It can't go on the way it's going. So there are two choices. There is an orchestration of change where that person says, right, okay, I'm in debt to a landlord. I have to make the money to pay them back. Or they may have to move out of the house, which is horrible because that's change again. And maybe they're happy in that house, but it's just not possible to stay there anymore. So maybe they have to move back in with parents or friends or something like that. But they have to do something. They have to orchestrate the change. Or they can ignore it and get into more and more debt, more and more trouble. Maybe not even discuss it with the landlord, just be hiding every time they knock on the door. And then what happens? You get an eviction notice. So the change happens whether you like it or not. But there's the option of whether you orchestrated that change and took control of that situation, or whether you just sat in a panic and allowed the change to happen to you. One is empowering, one is disempowering. And I feel like the Tower is about releasing things that don't serve, releasing situations that aren't working, and then you taking control of how you make those changes. So that it isn't like it's like a controlled explosion rather than just a random, let's just blow everything up, okay? Or somebody else blowing everything up for you. So I feel like it's quite important. There is something here that you need to release. And I believe throughout all of this reading, it's about your perception, your beliefs, your thoughts, your fears, your behaviours around your business and about your money. This message is all about you now having a total new rethink. It's about contemplation. It's about making changes. There is a lot of change here. A lot of change. We've got renewal. We've got transition. We've got release and revelation. We've got this needing to heal and rewrite the future down here. And I think there could be a lot of fear around it on your part, Sagittarius. I think you know that something needs to change. You know that your ideas need to change. You know your thoughts need to change. You're struggling and battling sometimes with your thoughts and beliefs and fears. And I believe for some of you, it's not about lack. It's about you being on the cusp of something amazing. But now you're terrified because you know that success will bring things along with it that you have not experienced before, or that you may feel uncomfortable with. Fears of losing any success once you've got it, not wanting to get comfortable with the idea of wealth and success in case it all disappears. Lots of different thoughts and fears and feelings and beliefs that come up around wealth and success in business. And I don't feel that it's kind of a lack reading here. I think obviously for some people there'll be money issues and you're being reminded that the universe will provide, that you need to make the leap and the universe will support. But for some people there are some big decisions that need to be made, and your wounds, your soul wounds, are holding you back from making them. So you are being told now it's time to let those wounds go. Whether they're yours, whether they're your ancestors, whether they're generational, whether they're soul wounds that you're carrying from a past life, whatever it is, you need to let them go. Because things need to change. And we've got here 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards here. This is very, very significant. There are lots of lessons here for you to learn. This has got long-term significant impact. It will be life-changing. It is about you needing to heal this stuff. What kind of businesswoman do you want to be? Do you want to be the shy, retiring type, or do you want to be out there playing to win? To get all the things that you desire and deserve? because in order to be that person, there are some things that you're going to need to let go of and heal so that you can move forward. I'm going to pick one more card. I'm going to pick one from the Rider-Waite because, I don't know, I just feel drawn to, again, just to see if it ties it all together. Right, okay. That's interesting to me. It's the Five of Pentacles. The fives are always a little bit about conflict, and for me, not necessarily about conflict with other people, but inner conflict. This is a card for which the phrase never give up always comes up for me. Never give up. You're halfway there. Things... Looking at this card there, we've got what looks to be a church. Looks like a stained glass window in a church. We've got a guy who is crippled and using crutches. We've got another guy who looks absolutely freezing, you know, barefoot in the snow. It's horrible. But they're so close to getting inside that church and being given a bowl of soup and getting warm. And so for me, the fives are about inner conflict. This is about a mindset conflict. This is about whether you choose the mindset of abundance and faith that the universe is going to provide everything that you need, that it'll all just fall into place for you, or whether you're going to be stuck in some sort of mindset of loss, of stress, of feeling isolated, of feeling out in the cold, of feeling like something is disabling you, almost, from what it is that you want. But what's disabling you is this soul wound, these soul wounds that you're carrying that are preventing you from up-leveling your business to where you want it to be. That it's like there's a glass ceiling there, but that glass ceiling, you have built it. Your mind has built it. And it's not your fault. I'm not blaming anybody here for building this glass ceiling. It's not your fault. Life has given you these ideas and thoughts and beliefs that have put this glass ceiling in place. The best thing about this glass ceiling is it's not imposed by anybody else. It's imposed by you, which means that you can knock it down. And you can start, it all takes inner work, you can start by choosing the mindset of positivity, of new possibilities opening up to you, of never giving up, of taking this leap of faith that we've got here and believing that the universe will provide. Look for your opportunities. Spirit is saying to me, look for your opportunities, because there are ways and means of healing your wounds. And it could be me. Maybe you've been drawn to me for a reason. It could be somebody else. I really don't mind. You know, I'm not I'm not just sitting here trying to sell my products and services. If I'm the right person to help you to heal those wounds, wonderful. If I'm not, never mind. But look for the people that are popping up around you, because when you're ready, people appear. Opportunities appear. It's like this week I did a masterclass with somebody. It was a totally free masterclass with a lady that I've not really come across, but I felt quite drawn to her. I did the 5 days. Quite often I'm not very good at that either. Quite often I'll start these things and then I get a bit bored and I forget, or, you know, life gets in the way or whatever, and I don't pursue it. But I absolutely committed to doing these masterclasses. And the revelations I received, and that was free. I didn't pay for it. But the information and the downloads that I got from being part of that mastermind group for the week were priceless. And as a result, there's going to be a few changes around Wild Fox Alchemy. So look out for that. But yeah, people appear. You know, it doesn't have to cost money. You know, maybe you need something. Maybe you need a one-to-one coach that will guide you through. Maybe you just need to listen to a masterclass that gives you the key to the kingdom. But it's about you searching for your opportunities now. Looking out for possibilities. Don't be blind to them. And really look at what you need to do to get to the next level in your business and why you aren't getting there. Because it could be obvious. You might know It's a fear of visibility. I know I need to do live videos. I can't do live videos. I'm terrified. And I know that would make all the difference. Or I've been invited to do speaking gigs with various different people and I keep turning them down. And yet I know that going to these speaking gigs would generate me hundreds of clients. It would sell me loads of copies of my book or my course or whatever. And I'm just too afraid to do it. Or it could be that you get loads of discovery calls. People phone up and want discovery calls. And you never really close the sale at the end because you can't ask for the money. It could be about your prices. Maybe you're not charging enough. I don't know, but there's a blockage that is preventing you from getting to where you need to be, and you need to heal it. You need to first uncover it and see things from a different perspective. And then a good start is to visualize doing the thing that you're afraid to do and really picture it. Somebody said something the other day and I loved it. She said, if there's something that you're really afraid to do, you need to imagine yourself giving a talk or writing a book that is about how you overcame whatever that issue is. So it's as if you're kind of, a couple of months down the line and you've overcome whatever that issue is. And then you write about it or talk about it to other people and say, this is how I overcame it. What would you say? What would you write? Visualize that. And if nothing pops up in the, sort of straight away, just keep going back to it. Keep going back to it. Just breathe and relax and think to yourself, what would I do? What would I write? What would I say to other people that have got this issue? How would I say, I got over it? Did I see a Reiki healer? Did I have hypnotherapy? Did I have a past life regression? Did I go and see a therapist? What did I do to get over this thing? And then you need to go do that. Anyway, Sagittarius, I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this reading for you. If you've got any questions at all, please do ask them in the comments. I answer all comments. Don't be alarmed if you post a comment and it doesn't appear straight away. I hold all comments for review because I get such a lot of spam. And I mean ridiculous amounts of spam. It's just crazy. So I would rather look for the quality comments. I don't filter out criticism. I will just say that for nothing. So if you hated the reading, by all means tell me you hated it. I don't censor that sort of stuff. I only take away the spam and the stupid naked lady websites and all that sort of stuff. So don't be alarmed. Ask your questions. I will answer them. Also, I am doing a giveaway this month. The closing date is the 31st of January for an intuitive business success session with me. That is worth $222.22. And we can sit and chat for 2 hours about your business and where you're stuck and what you might need to move forward. And maybe we can do a bit of healing or ask the tarot for some answers or ask the pendulum for some answers if you've got a query about your business. Whatever you need to do in that 2 hours, and you will go away at the end with a clearer mind and a plan of what you need to do next. So if you're interested in winning that, all you need to do is comment below the video and tell me what is your biggest struggle at the moment in your business. Is it lack of clients? Is it lack of sales? Is it money? Is it cash flow? Is it fears of visibility? Is it self-sabotaging behaviours? What is it? Let me know what it is. Is it the pandemic that's ruined everything for you? Let me know what it is in the comments below, and you will be entered into the draw to win that live session with me. So, best of luck, and I'll see you again soon. With love and magic always, Sagittarius. This is Maria Gaian signing out.